What's up guys, it's Jughead here, just a down-to-earth guy trying to bring you some down-to-earth content. Welcome back to my Let's Watch Hunter x Hunter series. Today we're going to be watching episode 33, An Empty Threat. Last episode, we have reached the climax of the Castro vs. Hisoka rival rematch fight. Hisoka came out on top. Castro, dead. This episode, I don't really know what to predict or what to think with a title such as An Empty Threat. Who are we going to be seeing fight today, or what interesting story developments or character developments we are going to be getting today? I'm happy we got Hisoka growth because I love him as a character. But let's see where we're going with either Gon, Killua, even Zushi or Wing. Who knows what's going on? I'm just excited to see where we're going. Episode 33. No more talking out of me. Let's watch. So, Hunter x Hunter, episode 33, An Empty Threat, in 3, 2, 1, let's watch, shall we? Considering the last episode ended with Killua saying this, and the opening shot of this episode is again Killua, I can assume just storytelling 101, television movies 101, this episode is going to be about Killua, and I am excited. We have yet to see Killua fight since they reached the 200s. Oh, we're back with Wing, learning some more. Because they all watched that Hisoka fight. We got a lot to learn. We got Zushi back. A little trio we got of little kids. We're proud of Gon. He kept his word, kept his promise. You were tempted. That's okay. You're only human. Look at that promise thread. You love to see it. Huh? What? Oh, okay. You got me. Killua asking the good questions. Yeah, Killua walked in on him doing push-ups and training a bit. Oh yeah, Killua really hasn't done any training so far, but he has been training 10 this entire time. You should be able to pull it off. Impress Wing. He is surrounded by it. Look at that. It's amazing. Yeah, look at that. Like he's wrapped in a bubble. Find his place of Zen to make Nen. Don't humble yourself so much. Well, no shit, that's how training works. Wait, what has he been practicing? By applying my own Nen, I tied the thread such that if you broke your promise and used Nen, it would snap. Ah! Interesting. Again, the extent to Nen's yeah, let's... Does he even know? You're a Nen master. How much do you know? Oh, Gon doesn't know anything. He's learned... There are limbs flying around? I know this show's old because we watching DVDs. Threads of aura? How would you be able to pick that up on DVD? Huh? There's no way you're going to catch that on TV, catch that in 4K. Zetsu, known as In. Great. I have to learn subcategories of these categories? Jesus Christ. Gyo. Focus into your eyes. Hmm. Assignment for you too is to practice red until you can see through Hisoka's in.
Zushi, 君の力ならもう密かの印を見破れるはずです。
Hey, Zushi! Let's see this. I want to see more action out of Zushi, man. Under the wing of Wing, kid's gotta be capable. What level, what floor is he at? Ooh, shit. Looking like Goku. Magnitude and density are two different things, apparently, when it comes to Nen. Or Ren. Shit's coming out his eyes. Focus them on your eyes. You can see everything. Dude, how are you gonna see that through a screen? Okay, that honestly just makes no sense to me. You're picking something up on a TV screen? Makes sense in real life, but on a TV screen makes no sense. Remote in the back ass pocket. But he's exhausted now, so it takes a lot of energy and focus to do that. No, not really, I don't. But everybody tells me not to worry about Nen too much. I'll get it. Something that I'm really confused about, honestly, is I understand why Gon has no knowledge of Nen or Aura, but Nen powers depend on a particular individual. Different specialties and preferences. I was saying that too. Gon, with his healing and his ability to, like, heal so fast, has to be a different, has to be unique to him. Or a category. That's his strength. Whatever it's called. But I'm confused, like Gon, coming from such a family as the Zoldycks, assassins, his brother knows Nen, to really be able to survive out in the day, out in real life, you have to know Nen. Why did his family never teach him it? Or like, you would think you'd be teaching him from a very young age, kind of like a Zushi, but he had no knowledge of it. Why? So Killua will have to fight. But yeah, why did Killua never know of Nen? You would think his family would have taught him that from a very young age. Is Zushi even still competing? Like, I don't even know what floor he's at yet. But you can just bring whatever guests you want up? Who's company? We seeing Hisoka again? Oh, these fuckers. These misfits. Scooby-Doo villain. Ooh, Killua versus Scooby-Doo villain. Yeah, why are you picking up on the kid? Yeah, getting desperate. Demonstrate my power. Silver hair versus silver hair? Great. Gon's already going up again? Come on. He's already 0-1. He just healed. Killua ain't happy right now. Killua's very suspicious. Power gathers in each cell. It grows. They're steaming. Force that power out like Goku. Focus that shit into your eyeballs. Yeah, get that confidence boost back. Yeah, they have such increased stamina than Zushi. Where's Killua going? Where's Killua going? Let's see what Killua doing. I knew this episode was going to be about Killua. Let's have this episode speed up a bit. Episode's kind of slow. Hey, you fucking stay away from Zushi, fucker. What do you think you're doing? Preying on a little kid. You bastard. Great. I hate this guy. Oh, he can't even breathe? Fuck. Is that his power? Oh, dude. Triple predators? What the hell? Are they kidnapping a fucking kid? Yeah, okay, Killua, let's fucking go. Nobody fucks with Zushi and gets away with it. Yeah, they're outside of the arena now. Fuck Nen, take out a knife. Shank. Gun. Kaplow. I get my win off you, I'm going to fight Gon. We love an intimidating Killua. What were you gonna do with Zushi? So Killua and Gon are registering with these two guys. May 29th is Killua's fight. These bastards. I feel like this is gonna be... Don't break a promise to Killua. I feel like that shit means a lot. Dude. These scheming little rats.
Zushi.
They about to break their promise, aren't they? Oh, he registered earlier than he was decided upon with Killua. It was supposed to be June, but he did May 30th. Oh, there's that assassin instinct coming in. Not killing people is pretty hard. Clean living's tough. He's going cold turkey. Kind of nice fit. Oh man, that when the shadows are covering the eyes. One-arm fighter, mask-like face. Oh shit. Oh shit. Look at that look on his face. Are they all on the same page though? Gon registered to fight. The sleeveless hoodie, that's equivalent to like black Air Forces. Oh, he really seen it. Oh, he's seeing everything. He's seeing what I'm eating for dinner later. Yeah, that I didn't understand. Yep. The properties of rubber and gum. Good job. Oh, did Gon too? Damn, none of them are on the same page. He already registered to fight. Oh shit. They're not on the same page. Yep, they threatened him. They didn't keep their promise. Back to back. Cool. Oh, they're both mad. Trying to wrap my head around this whole scheme. What's he gonna do? You said that so confidently, you don't need to worry. Don't be so cocky. Wait. Is that a mirror? Please, that has to be a mirror, right? There's not two of them fuckers. Ooh, oh, look at his face.
かったらゆっくり目を閉じろ。約束を破ったらどうなるか分かったか。分かったらゆっくり目を開けて、鏡の俺を見てよく聞け。
Oh shit. Look at those eyes.
俺たちの前に
That
汚ねえ
face.
ことをすな。約束だぜ。
Oh shit. Hey! Oh, an empty threat? Huh? They didn't even have to use all that they got taught. There's fighting in the arena, and then there's getting fucking murdered by an assassin like Killua. Shit. So, let's discuss. Before I do, ignore the outfit change from my reaction. I'll explain that. I think I figured out a way to improve my upload schedule, my consistency, or just how many videos you see me upload each week. Before, the way I would do my content is, say, I would sit down, record my reaction to Hunter x Hunter. I would then rewatch the episode back on my own, pausing, rewinding, fast forwarding, as I've said I do, so I can get my notes fully together to make sure my discussions are as best as they can be. Then I would record the discussion. I would then take that footage into Premiere, my editing software, and edit the video. I would render that. As I render, create a thumbnail. Then, by the time I finish the thumbnail, my video is rendered, I upload that, and usually that would be an entire day's process. So I would be forced to either, or I wouldn't even finish the editing in one day, and it would be a 2-day editing process, recording and editing process, upload on the 3rd day. This time, I'm thinking, why would I watch the episode essentially 3 times? One time for my reaction, second time to really understand the episode on my own time watching for a second time. I realized I essentially watched the episode a 3rd time while I'm editing, because you see, I have to play the entire footage and watch it in order to find out, okay, let me cut here, cut the video out here to then show the video again here, just a whole lot of editing, you know? So my theory is record the reaction, then bring that into Premiere, edit the entire intro reaction portion of my video, edit it out, because that's where most of my editing comes in. That's where I spend most of my time. While I'm editing, I'm essentially watching the episode for a second time, right? Because I'm watching the entire footage through to edit it. There, I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Edit my video and watch for a second time for my discussion. Edit, then on a different monitor, have my notes section where I can type in my notes and my bullet points for my discussions. Finish that. Then I'll have understood the episode better. Then I can go and record my discussion. Record that, bring that footage into the editing, which my discussions are really just one long uncut discussion, so there's not a lot of editing. Just kind of scrubbing through to see where there's long pauses or where I slip up on my words, or just parts where I don't like my discussion in that point, or trying to catch my thoughts and there's long pauses. Minimal editing. Drag that in. Literally, then the episode's done. I can render it and I can upload it that same day. That's what I think I'm going to be doing. I can do bulk recordings that way. I can record, like, say, I can record episode of Hunter x Hunter. Then I can record an episode of Mob Psycho right after that. Then I can react to an episode of Jujutsu Kaisen right after that. So I have 3 reactions in bulk as a backlog that I can always go to and edit. Then as I edit each of those reactions, I can now watch that episode over a second time. Then I can then go to the discussions. I can record my discussions. Then I have 3 episodes edited and rendered. Cool. I think that'll be faster. I can do it in bulk. I obviously can't record like 5 episodes of Hunter x Hunter back to back, because that would defeat the purpose. As in, watch episode 33, then watch episode 34, episode 35, blah, blah, blah. Well, it would defeat the purpose of I can't even discuss them, because I know what happens in episode 34 before I do my discussion to 33. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like for the next few weeks, you may see the outfit changes, because, say, for this episode 33, I watched the episode a day ago. For me right now, yesterday. I went to bed after I edited the reaction portion and I wrote my notes down, but I didn't feel like spending an hour talking. Right now is the next day. So 2 days recording. Then I'm going to bring this into my software, finish editing. I'll have it uploaded and set to scheduled for tomorrow, which is what you're watching right now. I feel like that's way easier, but enough of that. It makes sense in my head. So just for the next few weeks, maybe expect my outfit that I'm wearing for my reactions is different than the outfit I'm wearing for my discussions because I'm trying this out. But enough of that. I already wasted 4 minutes of your time or whatever talking about production side of things instead of the episode itself. Or you guys like that transparency and me talking about the behind the scenes stuff. If you're interested in that stuff, you know more about what I do now. But to get into episode 33, a bit of a slower episode here, don't you think? Or is it just me? Obviously, the ending made up for it a bit. The pacing for the first 3/4 of the episode, I just wasn't a fan of. Waiting for something to happen, waiting for that snowball to build up. But maybe I'm spoiled. I think that's what may be. Maybe after such an exhilarating previous 2 episodes with Hisoka up against Castro, how much character development we got from each character, how much action we got through that match, how much new Nen knowledge I gained, the fantastic visuals and the engaging dialogue you really needed to pay attention to because everything, every single minute was really important to the story and each character. This episode, we're descending from that atmosphere. We're riding on such a high. Coming back to Earth may feel extra slow. It's like walking on increased gravity, you know? Like, damn. More learning Nen. I'm still a couple chapters behind. Like, let me catch up. Now we're diving into subcategories, subset concepts, advanced techniques of the basics I still don't fully get. Like, I think it was just like a combination of it feels slower in comparison to the previous 2 episodes, and there's so much in my mind to get over that I was kind of feeling tired even. I don't know. But we got Gyo, which is an advanced application of Ren, right? Ren. And Ren is the technique where you output a huge amount of your aura outwards, going from a calm state of 10, where your aura's flow is maintained around your body. Ren explodes that away from the body. Excuse me as I go into like a recap of my understandings of this. This is just how I'm going to rationalize it all in my head as I get into this episode. So, if I understand that correctly, correct me at any point or expand upon what I'm saying to make sure, that I get everything. That's how I understand Ren and 10 so far. So we saw Ren when Gon, Killua, and Zushi in the beginning of this episode, they were together and they were using Ren, I believe. They looked like Goku when he would power up using his Kaioken technique, right? So really, at the end of the day, to really understand it, Ten and Ren are essentially the same. No coincidence they rhyme. Ten and Ren are essentially the same in a way, just the first is defensive, the second can be seen as an offensive technique. Therefore, Gyo is more offensive based since you're taking all of that larger than normal amount of aura and channeling it to a specific part of your body that you concentrate on. Here, we saw Zushi use Gyo in his eyes, which lets a Nen user see surrounding external aura and whatever Nen usage that's otherwise concealed with In, I-N, which leads to the second thing we learned, In, I-N. Just as Ren is a more offensive version of Ten, and Gyo is the advanced technique of Ren, In is an advanced form of Zetsu, right? That's what Wing said, I believe. So, In is defensive as well. Interesting how Nen is not purely an offensive attack-based power system, but a defensive one as well and has direct counters. Weird though that Ren does take Ten one step further in a sense, and Gyo takes Ren one step further. But In doesn't really take Zetsu one step further. It's an either or, it's a trade off, compromise, because In won't hide your aura like Zetsu does. It instead masks it, hides it. But I guess the trade off there, yeah, while it can still be detected with Gyo, if you were using Zetsu alone, you wouldn't be able to channel your aura at all because you're concealing it and you're closing those aura nodes, right? You still get to at least deploy your aura for use using this technique, and your opponent must know how to use Gyo in order to combat against it. I like that. The Chi power system in Dragon Ball is all but entirely offensive. And or at least I can't think of any episodes off the dome throughout all of Dragon Ball and halfway through Dragon Ball Z right now where you see Chi used defensively. Only thing I can really think of is like the simple fact that in Dragon Ball, if you have a higher Chi than your opponent cannot win. Straight up. Canonically speaking, they say that in the manga and in the anime, a higher Chi or battle power always wins over a smaller battle power. That's why Goku had to train under 100 times gravity and had to go to Kaioken times 20, and then after that, had to go to Super Saiyan to beat Frieza, because I think Frieza had what? In his final form, he had 3 forms. In his final form, Frieza's battle power was like 120 million, I believe. Super Saiyan Goku was able to reach battle power 150 million. So Goku inevitably was going to win. So if you have I'm trying to think through this through. So if you have a higher battle power, the chi radiated outwards is able to deflect oncoming attacks if they are weaker. We've seen that plenty of times, either deflecting away from the body automatically, just hitting your chi aura itself and just deflecting off, or someone like Goku absorbing the opponent's attack or blocking or holding it with his hands. Naruto at least has defensive techniques since everything is in the form of jutsus. There's a whole host of different defensive techniques. But I honestly like in Hunter x Hunter. I know I joke around about being confused and lost when it comes to Nen, but when you really think about it or compare it, Nen is the most straightforward power system, especially for how thorough and thought out it is. I like that there isn't an integer or numerical value attached to Nen or Aura, and it is strictly energy based. Dragon Ball, you have Chi, also energy and life force based. Yes, they call it Chi, but it has a numerical value to it. And if Goku fires a Kamehameha and an opponent fires some other Chi blast, like Piccolo if he fires a Masenko or beam cannon back at Goku, you already know Goku's Kamehameha will blow through the Masenko because he has the highest chi or battle power. Nobody has a higher chi or battle power than Goku. And that's how Dragon Ball is set up. Only thing Piccolo could do at that point is evade it with an after image dash. And every attack is essentially the same, just gathering a lot of chi in one concentrated area, usually your hands, and blasting your opponent. And that shit's sick. Don't get me wrong, the fights are awesome, way more action packed, and I'm not shitting on Dragon Ball at all. I love Dragon Ball. Then Naruto, same thing. There may not be a numerical value associated with someone's chakra, but there's still tiers, like power levels to a person's chakra. You can create a tier list, like who's better than this person, who's better than this, strictly based off their chakra alone. You can't do that with Nen and Hunter x Hunter, really. Like, Naruto ain't stronger than Sasuke right now, just baseline where I'm watching currently. But if he tapped into his red chakra, Sasuke, I don't know if he'd even have a chance. Even his, what's it called? Keki Genkai, Sharingan Dojutsu wouldn't do a thing really against red chakra, right? Or like Gaara, who he would have wrecked Naruto, right? Otherwise, like having the one-tailed beast inside him, the Saiyan spirit, but Naruto asks Ninetail to lend some of his chakra to him, and he's donezo. He wins. Obviously, Naruto has more nuance to it. I ain't, again, like I said with Dragon Ball, I ain't shitting on Naruto whatsoever. Do not even go there. I love it right now. I'm binging the hell out of it right now. I think I'm on episode 80 something. I wanted to get through the Chunin exam arc, and at some point I'm going to do another discussion episode like I did with episodes 1 through 20. Don't worry about that. I want to continue that series going too. But you know where I'm getting at, right? Like, Itachi stopped Sasuke's Chidori with his bare hand just by having a greater chakra, as I understand it. To me, in most shonens with power systems, the more you train, the stronger that power gets, the more its value rises, which is then directly compared against other people and their respective levels given the same shared power system. As I watch Hunter x Hunter, I feel like the more you train, the more knowledge you unlock, the more understanding you gain, the more techniques you learn to harness with your aura. Then you go and exploit Nen, which is in itself exploiting your aura. Gon, not even knowing what Nen was, exploited Zetsu to conceal his aura against Hisoka. But it's not like he's a Gohan with untapped battle power of like 40,000 out of nowhere. He just utilized a technique that exists to conceal an aura. You know what I'm saying? He utilized a technique that just simply exists. Anybody can use it, and it just does a task, you know? Similar to hiding chi, which actually I guess that can be considered the one defensive technique in Dragon Ball after all. Well, there you go, I guess. Zushi isn't any stronger than Gon or Killua. Gon and Killua can learn and do exactly what Zushi can, given they train enough, and they can do what Wing does. It's not like Wing has a level that cannot be reached, because it's not a level. It's just mastering his aura. You learn enough, train enough, control enough, and you can manipulate Nen, the energy itself, to do whatever your imagination and or mind can conceive or perceive. As in, concentrating enough of your aura into your hand using Ren to destroy a wall like Wing did, or creating bungee gum or texture surprise requires deep understanding and control of your own Nen, not requiring a power level of 100,000 or 1 million or something. Like, Castro was greatly powerful, no doubt. He trained in specifically doubling himself, but not because he reached some higher Nen power bracket, tax bracket level that unlocked a new set of predetermined abilities, you know, like, oh, I got 2 skill points, I can put it into this part of my skill tree. No, he created this technique. He didn't lose and die because Hisoka was inherently stronger or more powerful. It's not like he died because Hisoka was sitting at a battle power of 1 million and Castro was sitting at a battle power of 500,000. That's what I'm trying to say. He lost because Castro forgot the basics of Nen training. He didn't focus enough. He didn't use Gyo to see through Hisoka's magic. Like, it ain't like saying 2 1 million power level characters are going up against each other like it would be in Dragon Ball, so it's a direct even match. It's comparable to people training in their own respective martial... Yeah, okay, yeah, this is the perfect analogy in my head at least. It's comparable to people training in their own respective martial arts styles, and they were going up against each other. Shaolin Kempo, Aikido, Judo, Krav Maga, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Hapkido, etc. Through their respective styles that they develop on their own, you have advantages and disadvantages, but you're not automatically better than somebody simply because you practice Aikido and somebody else practices Judo, you know? That's what I find so cool about the Nen power system. It's that it's not really a power system at all, because it's not about power, at least to my understanding so far. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I can explain that any better than I did. If it doesn't make sense, shit. If it does, cool. But, bruh, to move on, I have to talk about the one part of this episode that I just cannot forget. I can't let it go. I can't get my mind off of it. I can't let it pass. Had me thinking about it overnight, how stupid this was as a concept. Could easily look past it, move on, but no, I gotta question this right now. I gotta make this argument. Dude, you put a DVD recording of Hisoka's match, right, in a TV, and Wing asks them if they can see Hisoka's Nen. What? Huh?
Excuse me? A baking powder?
I repeat, trying to see Nen through a TV screen. A TV. Are you serious? Somebody explain to me how that's even a fucking thing. Somebody explain how even in a world of pure imagination that even follows any basic understanding of how a TV works. Let's get into this. You would first need a camera that can somehow pick up, capture, and record Nen energy. Wherever that lies on the spectrum, because it has to lie somewhere. I'd assume the visible light spectrum, since in person you can see aura and Nen with your bare eyes, right? Meaning it exists in the visible light spectrum. Your eyes can see it. Therefore, it ain't like it's infrared or some shit. I realize I'm about to be getting real sciencey, nerdy as fucking here, but I don't care. This is a big deal to me. So, if there are commercial cameras that have the tech required to capture Nen in the first place, that means companies like fucking Nikon, Kodak, Canon, Samsung, Sony, whoever the fuck, they're out there who manufacture these cameras have to know what Nen is. To know to make these cameras in the first fucking place. Then you need a camera man who's just a regular fucking guy to operate said cameras. Because obviously they have to be technologically advanced. Not just any Joe Schmo schmuck can use that camera. He must also know what Nen is. Then the people who own Heaven's Arena have to buy these cameras and employ said cameraman, meaning they have to also know what Nen is. Yet, the announcers themselves and the audiences watching have apparently no fucking clue what's going on during the matches because we're told next to no one knows Nen. How the hell, then, can Nen be as esoteric, secret, and protected as Wing claims it to be? Somebody rationalize this for me, because to me, it cannot be rationalized. And that's not even my whole argument. I got an entire part 2 to this bitch. Even if Nen is known enough to produce cameras specifically designed to capture it on camera, on film, digitally, whatever the fuck. How the fuck does something appear and disappear at will off a fucking TV screen contingent on the fact how much focus on the fucking TV screen you use using Gyo? It's on a TV screen. It's a recording. You're looking at fucking pixels on the screen. A camera took a single snapshot of a particular moment in time. On this YouTube video you are watching right now, you're really just looking at what my camera captured. 30 individual frames of light per second. I record at 30 FPS. 30 individual frames of light per second. And it plays that in a manner quickly enough to your eyes like a flip book in which you see a moving picture of me. My camera has converted the patterns of color it captured into digital electrical signals onto my recording software to then be transmitted. Like, you understand me, right? Okay? What was captured is what you fucking see. Literally, that's even what like 1080p means. I recorded 1080p 30 FPS. The video you see, or all video you see, like on your 1080p TV, is 1080 separate vertical lines of color video transmitted to you frame by frame to show you on screen. You're looking at fucking pixels on your screen. The same way Zushi, Gon, and Killua are looking at their flat screen TV in this episode. A shit ton of liquid crystals that make up the display. Hence why it's called an LCD TV, liquid crystal display. Each pixel has 3 sub-pixels within it, one for red, green, blue, which create whatever fucking color you want. Everybody knows what RGB is. Given this random ass information, learning about how a goddamn TV works right now, Bill Nye right here, explain to me how when they pause the match, which just freezes a particular frame recorded by the camera, that a part of the image can just appear because you looked at it with Nen. What the fuck is that? That's like the Hubble telescope all the way up in space, taking a normal picture of space. And us just being able to look at it and see the regular picture, but if we focus even more, we can see stars in infrared light. Huh? I don't know. You have to understand what I'm saying, right? Please, you have to. Like, I'm correct. This shit makes no fucking sense, and there's nothing you can say to make it make sense. Even if you tell me in like the manga that they say, oh, they use cameras that can capture Nen. That still don't explain how Nen doesn't appear on a TV screen right now. But then you're using Gyo and it magically fucking appears on the screen out of nowhere. Bruh. The TV is transmitting all the data for that frame onto those pixels and showing you what exists in that frame. You using Gyo ain't fucking changing the data that already exists that the pixels are showing in front of you. I'm done. I just can't simply stress enough how idiotic, stupid, nonsensical, frankly annoying, and downright absurd this was to me. Like, I have to question Tagashi here. Like, bruh, you couldn't take 10 minutes more of your time to think of anything better to write here? Like, you really stubbornly chose to go with a camera that can record one of the most esoteric, coveted, secret, heavily protected concepts in your entire universe. Instead of say, this is what I would do here. Wing himself, being the Nen master he is, with who knows how many connections or colleagues he knows, perhaps owns a specially made rare camera designed by fellow genius Nen engineers and scientists, for hunters, scientists, researchers, government, who knows, that has image sensors built into the camera, just like how a normal DSLR camera has an image sensor behind the lens. This sensor can capture Nen. And he attended the match, and he took photos of the Hisoka match to show his students and gain more insight into Hisoka and his powers. No. Makes too much sense this way. Let's have Nen magically appear on a TV screen instead. Cool. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you for letting me get all this off my chest. I appreciate you listening. Or you're not, and you're like, oh, this guy's a crazy person. He's talking about a 2-minute scene for 10 minutes. As you can tell by how long I was hung up on this one topic, it really bothered me. But moving on, we also have another thing that annoyed me. We have these 3 motherfuckers return. Don't even know their names. All I know is I hate them. Known as the newbie crushers, racking up their points by fighting the new guys who make it to floor 200. They want to fight Gon, which was interesting. They picked Gon first. They kind of just look past Killua at first, probably because They saw Little Red Riding Bane win against Gon the first match, so they just figure, just another easy win. But the two we haven't seen fight yet, they want to fight Gon and Killua because their deadlines are almost up to register a fight, and they only need a few more points to reach the 10 total, and they're just going to reach that by fighting the newbies. And as if these three stooges didn't try hard enough to be as creepy as they are already, of course, what do three pedophile looking asses do? They go and corner a small child in a dark alley, knock him unconscious, him falling onto the monster truck guy's crotch, and attempt to kidnap him. Stranger danger. But they don't know Killua. They don't know who he is. Besides its first name, they don't know his last, Zoldyck. They don't know where he comes from, and definitely not what he does or what he is known for. He's an assassin. He can detect and sniff out any sign of deception, trickery, or suspiciousness. Just like that. He's like a hound dog. Killua meets them in that alley like, what the fuck are y'all doing? You're gonna let that kid go? If you wanna fight me and Gon so fucking bad, fine. Leave Zushi out of this. Gon is sticking to his schedule, but I'll allow this one-time agreement to fight you on the day you say. Let's go register right now. Call my bluff. So they do that. And then again, Killua stresses. It's a one-time thing. You promised. Give me Zushi back. Leave Gon alone. We're fighting on our date. He extra stresses. Do not break your word. So it appears to me, Killua has a code. He values someone's word or their character. There's an honor system or a code at play here. Do not go making promises with him and then go against him. That shit don't fly. Is that something he developed on his own? Either, through one's own trauma or personal experience? Or is it something instilled maybe by his father? Though I doubt that because it's not like him or him previously, his family or anyone, they don't interact with other people in any close relationship whatsoever in which they would even value trust or honesty or any sort of vulnerability like that. So I'm curious where he got that standard from because it's new. And then what do you know? Dude goes and breaks his promise. As that Scooby-Doo villain guy was with Killua, the others also blackmailed Gon on the side with the same trick. Register to fight us in exchange for Zushi's safety. That pisses Killua off.
So you whores must think I'm playing.
So, we see the side of him come out we have not seen in a relatively long while, actually. The assassin side. Tracks this motherfucker down. Comes from behind, out of nowhere. Blade in hand. That look on that face, dude. You know what I'm talking about. So sinister. So fucking badass. So fucking cool. Dangerous. Intimidating. The side of Killua you hate to see because you're happy seeing him adopt this new life alongside having his first real friend. You also love to see it because this is where he's most powerful and deadly, Killua is trying to live a clean life. He said it himself. He said, it is hard not to kill. That shit has been ingrained, man. It ain't like going cold turkey on smoking cigs or drinking or cutting out carbs from what you eat. Going cold turkey on literally his entire existence and purpose up until his point that he is only known for his entire life up until a few months ago. Like some Black Mirror, Manchurian Candidate, Winter Soldier shit. Programmed by your family essentially to be a killer. We know what his brother Illumi told him, that he is nothing but a killer. You're barely even human. You'll never have friends. They'll die because of you, and there'll be blood on your hands. Even his own father. He didn't let his son Killua go off genuinely through care and love. We know that. We could read through that bullshit. That sinister laugh that echoed in that chamber at the end of that episode. I remember that. He let him go under the hopes, under the pretense that Killua will ultimately return. that Killua will fail, lose everything. Remember, Silva made Killua promise that he would never betray his friends. He didn't say that because it's like, oh, I'm teaching you morals and ethics. He said that to set that shit in stone within Killua, to inevitably do just that. I'm sure I've said this before, but my theory is that Silva ain't just banking on it, but he knows it is an inevitability. Because I theorize Illumi has some level of control over Killua and his mind. Originally got that in the way that I figured that Illumi controlled Killua to kill and return home. The way that altercation between the two of them unfolded, between the visuals and the dialogue in tandem, I already had my hunches, but after hearing his father, it became as strong a theory for me as was my prediction for Hisoka being in the Phantom Troop. That turned out to be true, so Illumi, either through Nen, hypnosis, or injection, because those needles of his, they're rather iconic to his persona. Okay, that's why I get mixed feelings seeing Killua revert however amount back to that assassin state, you know? I want to see Killua at his highest potential, his most raw. But I know that side of him could be his downfall, his doom, and is exactly what his family wants. I think it's interesting to also think that, no doubt, before Gon coming into his life, or had Gon not come into his life, he would have otherwise killed those 3 newbie crushers on the spot, right there. No hesitation, right? You would say the same thing, right? Not like Killua is one with words. He's about that action. But he's now actively restraining himself. Which, I guess that explains why he isn't his assassin self during his matches. Again, part of me wishes he was. I want to see that. That was one of my main questions in my mind throughout this arena arc. Why doesn't he bring that side out of him? Perhaps would just be way too easy, too much needless bloodshed, just, ripping every opponent's heart out. But say he utilized his own techniques, rhythm echo, shadow step. I can imagine they would be incredibly useful. And Wing would be both very impressed, but I can imagine maybe even scared or intimidated. Because those are techniques he may not know, because they're not Nen techniques. If he knew those were forbidden techniques, right? Didn't Netero say that rhythm echo is a forbidden technique and used by assassins or something? But also the fact that they are not Nen-based abilities, so Wing wouldn't know of them. Shadow Step, simply moving in absolute silence, something he learned as an assassin, most definitely. Rhythm Echo, we know, what's her name, Canary can use it, but Rhythm Echo is achieved by Killua's motion, creating after images of himself through varying the cadence of his steps. A Nen user would not see anything through Gyo. Nothing to hide with In, no Nen to detect. Just his incredible movement speed, claw hands, and after image technique. I would love to see Wing, Zushi, and Hisoka's reactions to those techniques. Which that also then leads me to ask how Killua has never known of Nen before this. I probably should have asked this question episodes ago, but it only comes to me now. How or why did his family never teach him Nen before? You are a infamous assassin family, the most deadly and capable and dangerous. You stay at the top of the food chain. Your brother Illumi knows Nen. I can't imagine he's the only one. I have to imagine his father Silva also knows Nen. How can you operate out in the real world under the risks and dangers that you do with such high targets? Some could be hunters or Nen users even, and be confident enough to go into any situation or assassinate any target under any risk involved if you don't know Nen. Did they choose not to teach him at all? Would he become too powerful too soon if they did? Or just not yet? Like, did Illumi not even know of Nen until he went into the outside world? Maybe Hisoka taught him. I don't know. I just think it's weird. The child prodigy that you expect to take over the family name and estate, protect the reputation and blood line of the family. Sorry, I was looking at my camera. I spaced out. The bloodline of the family doesn't know Nen at his age yet. Okay? When Zushi, comparatively, is probably younger than them, I believe. Their ages haven't been divulged, right? And he's been a student under Wing. He's a Nen master for quite some time now. As esoteric as Nen is, I would think surely the Zoldix family has known, for generations even perhaps, with their own developed trademark techniques maybe, and that's how they've remained so powerful over the generations. Maybe that's why his grandparents are so old and alive still, utilizing Zetsu to prolong one's life. Or if not through family, surely you come across Nen at some point in your assassin career, the endeavors, and it becomes aware to you such a thing exists. And you're like, bro, what the fuck? An interesting question. One of many I have. And I'm just going to have to sit on it until hopefully it gets answered. But Killua knows Nen now. All that matters. He knows more and more every episode. I'd love to see Silva and Illumi's reactions to finding out Killua has been exposed to Nen. He's learned it, mastered it to some extent. Illumi's worry may be growing that Killua may be more powerful and capable than him now. Like Wing said, beasts have been awakened. And for now, Killua stays clean. That threat did not go in one ear and out the other to that guy. He listened all right. Fight day, match time comes around, Killua the only one in the ring. Guy, he don't show up. Easy win for Killua by default. Never bother them again. Don't let their faces be seen again. I do wonder though, would Killua have actually forfeited had they not broken their promise? To me, on both ends, on one end, seems out of his nature, but also not want to break a promise. As well as the fact we have seen him forfeit before. He forfeited against Pakal, right? During the last stage of the exam. Maybe he would have forfeited again for the same reasons. Not worth his time. Since, same deal with Hisoka. Not worth his time. So with Killua winning, does that mean Gon won too? Probably a dumb question, since will obviously be answered next episode, since Gon's fight is the next day following Killua's, and we just saw that happen. Either that guy forfeits too, and Gon is like, wait, why did they do that? Killua, did you have something to do with this? What did you do? Or Gon has to fight, and maybe he wins, so then either way, regardless, he has one win, and so does Killua, so they're on an even playing field. Gon just has one loss. And with that win, Gon would be able to challenge Hisoka. Can't forget that. One win each isn't a lot, though. It's June already, right? The auction is in September, the York New arc. This arc is slowly making its way to a close. Is that enough time, logically and story speaking, to win 10 total matches? Challenge Hisoka. Maybe either Killua or Gon participate in the Battle of Olympia. I don't know. And then September rolls around and we're all at the auction. Hisoka has his new friends. Gon, Killua, Kurapika, like he said. To now go and hunt the Phantom Troop. The fruit will be ripe by then. They know Nen now. I don't know what the fuck Leorio's doing. And then, where is Zushi in all of this? Is he still competing? We don't see any of his action. Well, like, what floor is he on? Is he progressing? When is he gonna reach the 200 anytime soon? I just realized we've seen nothing out of him. All he serves to be really at this point is the comparable benchmark for the average normal kid. He represents the growth and progress of an average kid studying and training Nen. To put in perspective just how not normal Gon and Killua are. I want to see more out of Zushi. But Learned a good amount of Nen. I'm happy about that. New advanced techniques. During combat, coming to understand just how much focus is required. Nothing is straightforward, not even Nen. Despite the fact I called it the most straightforward power system. I mean it as in combat, you as a fighter have to be dialed in, razor sharp focus. You can't miss a thing. Zushi only saw 13 Nen strings coming from Hisoka when he focused his Gyo. Killua, when he did it, could count all 15. A mistake like that, however seemingly small, 2 off, could mean death. Main takeaway for Nen this episode was subtle confirmation into another theory of mine. I have a lot of theories. My Azoka Phantom Troop one is true. I still theorize Illumi has control over Killua. I also theorize that Nen is different person to person. Nen is almost organic or genetic, tied to your personality or your traits even. Theorizing that Gon's ability to heal as quickly as he does, like Wing said, he has incredible regenerative abilities. That is all tied to the specific type, category, classification of Nen that he possesses, which is different than the type of category of Nen that Killua possesses. Wing, Zushi, Hisoka, Netero, whoever, Illumi, whatever. Wing said in his episode that Nen is different for everybody. It resembles or adheres to an individual's unique strengths. And as I'll add to it, their personality. That line right there strengthened my theory. Waiting to get revelations or more dialogue out of that topic there. There's obviously a Nen-derived explanation as to how Gon heals so fast, has insane reaction time, incredible speed and agility and stamina, so much more. So, I got 2 theories I'm strongly hanging on to, waiting to be confirmed or denied. But all in all, it's funny because remember, at the beginning of this discussion, I called this episode slow and a little boring for a portion of the episode. But now, after discussing it in depth, unpacking the details, really diving deep, it was actually a full episode. Nothing really boring at all. And that's just what you have to do. And because isn't that just the perfect example right here? Just how important and crucial and valuable these long, in-depth discussions are. You may hear things you never thought of before, and you've watched this anime before. That's what's cool. I'm experiencing it for the first time, and you're here helping me experience it, but you're kind of experiencing it in a new way. You see me get as much out of the show in each episode I think is possible. You keep track of my understanding of the show too, which helps you appreciate it, the whole channel and the series more. That's why reactions alone are so boring. You'd have no clue just how passionate I am, just not just for my content and my channel, but genuinely for the show as well. Matching the passion that you all have. You'd have otherwise no clue just how much or little I understand or follow the show. You'd be wondering like, oh, did he listen to this character during that part? Did he catch that sentence? Did he see in the background, or did he see what happened? Did he catch that reference? Has he made that connection from a previous episode? All valid questions. I would be asking the same, but nah. You know everything. And isn't that so much better? Even worse, imagine just casually watching this show. Like, I imagine someone just laying in bed, half their attention on their phone, half attention on their TV, just watching the episode. When the episode is over, just pressing next onward to the next episode. No way would I appreciate the show the same way I do here if I did that. I watch Naruto and Dragon Ball and Samurai Champloo and whatever else I watch, shows or movies, live action or animated, the exact same way as you see me do on my channel. During Naruto or whatever, I'll pause several times just to think about the line, a single line of dialogue and how impactful it was. Or I'll pause to connect the dots to a previous episode or think about something or make my predictions or just think about symbols or feelings or whatever. Same with movies or any other live action or animated show or anything. I think this episode perfectly conveys how much I love the style of content I produce. The reaction is one thing. Full uncut reaction with my genuine passion and interest alongside my undivided attention. Sweet. I'm sure you love that. I would love that too. But no one I sub to on YouTube does that by itself. But I also genuinely love to sit down and have these conversations and discussions. Maybe not with you directly, like it ain't a live stream. Maybe I'll do that one day. That would be sweet. But in spirit, I'm talking to you like you were sitting across from me on a couch or something, just talking about shit that we love. In this case, talking about episode 33 of Hunter x Hunter together, you know? That is something next to nobody is creating at all. And it ain't like I do it for more views. Maybe the views come because people appreciate this, but I do it because it's me. And it definitely ain't like I do this for money. Like, ooh, hour-long videos? Imagine all the ads I can place on those, you know? Nah, my channel ain't even monetized, and I'll always remain transparent. Yeah, one day you might see an ad or two, a pre-roll or a mid-roll ad on my videos to support myself, you know, save up, buy a better camera, improve the quality of my videos, and maybe get to do YouTube full time. That would be dope. But never like, hey, sub to my Patreon for $10 a month to get what you used to get for free on YouTube only because I want to make more money off of you. No. I don't know. Everything I do is genuine and authentic and transparent. I think overall, what I'm talking about, it adds to the overall experience here. I do believe, even though it's an hour of your time to watch, and it's an hour out of your time you're putting towards me, and I appreciate it. The hour is worth it, and you get something out of it. If I can provide 20 minutes to an hour's time of entertainment to you, damn, that's an accomplishment to me. Just a thought now that I think about this episode more in hindsight, now that my discussion is finished. An hour-long discussion that's essentially just dissecting 2 lines of dialogue that matter to me and one big scene at the end. You're only getting that shit on my channel, and that be the truth. Should be like, I need to figure out some marketing promotion around that or something like, you can't say I don't know my shit. Or at least I try to know my shit, but yeah. That's where I'm going to end the discussion. If you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining, hitting the like button to let me know is awesome. Better yet, if you want to keep up with all future content from me, be sure to subscribe to stay in the loop. Keep the conversation going down in the comments so I can connect with y'all more, build this community. You know that's the most important thing to me. Follow me on social media for my photography and a more personal side if you'd like. Having said all that, and with that said, so long, farewell, until next time, thank you, be happy, and hope you have a good one. Peace.